Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. And as you know, I absolutely love to travel. And now is the holidays and it is time to travel. And people are planning their last minute getaways, or maybe they're planning their trips in January or February when the airline prices drop. Well, travel planning is hard, and planning a trip with kids, as you know, is even harder. Travel expert and mom of two, Melanie Fish, is here from VRBO to talk all about family travel and give us tips on how to make traveling with your family easier.
Hi, Michelle. It shouldn't be hard, should it? We should enjoy planning our next trip. It shouldn't be a source of stress.
It should not. But as you know, once you have kids, they call it a trip, not a vacation anymore, right? But you're here to tell us how we could be stress-free when it comes to planning this.
I think it should be part of the fun. So make HomeAway your new addiction instead of Pinterest, and start looking at all the amazing vacation homes, cabins, and condos that are available to you. There are more than 2 million unique places to stay in 190 countries. So it should be fun to choose the perfect match for your group or family.
Yes, I have to say I've had a lot of fun searching the HomeAway website and the app. It makes it so easy, especially when you want to talk with people, with the owners of the properties. It's such an easy process. So let's start here. How do you pick your destination? Where are you headed in 2019?
Well, my first trip in 2019 is a trip to the mountains of Colorado. I'm going on a mom and daughter trip with a couple of other moms and daughters to ski for a couple of days. And actually, one really cool new feature of HomeAway and VRBO is that there is a search filter for ski in, ski out properties. So I wanted to give you that tip, that's available to you now. But what I'm seeing is that a lot of travelers are seeking the outdoors. Families want to stay where there are a lot of activities for everyone. So stays near national parks and places where you're close to nature, where there may not be a lot of resorts or hotels, but there are all these amazing homes where you can spend the day outside and then relax, and everyone can have room to relax inside.
I know that I prefer staying in a VRBO when traveling. Why do you recommend renting a house?
There are so many reasons that renting a house makes sense for people. One is the amenities. You have the kitchen, so that's convenient and a cost savings. I'm not saying you have to eat every meal in, but it's nice to be able to get up, have a cup of coffee, the kids can have a bowl of cereal, everyone can relax, do it on their own schedule, and it's a cost savings. Washers and dryers are great for families when you're traveling. Things like grills, hot tubs, private pools. These are all things you can find in vacation homes that I love. And there are also a lot of unique touches you can find. I've seen vacation homes available with game rooms for your theme park trip to Orlando. I've seen homes that kids will go crazy over with a Frozen themed bedroom. So there are just so many special experiences to be had. Of course, for me, cost is always a consideration when I'm traveling and when I'm booking a vacation home on VRBO. And we find that you can get twice the space for half the cost of a hotel room. The value is great.
I agree with you. And the experiences, and like you mentioned, I mean, we stayed at a home in Sarasota that was absolutely beautiful, and it had a huge pool to ourselves, private, so we could use it with the little one during the day, and then we can go in at night. It had a hot tub. And like you said, the conveniences, washer, dryer, kitchen, you really can't beat that when traveling with a family. I really don't know how people travel as a family with young kids and stay in hotel rooms anymore.
I mean, for me, the rule of thumb is if you have 4 or more people, a vacation home is absolutely the way to go. There's really just not another option. And speaking of unique experiences, I took my family to Costa Rica in June, and we stayed in a 727 jumbo jet that has been transported to the jungle and turned into a beautiful vacation home with all teak interiors. It pokes out of the jungle, looks out over the ocean, and I guarantee you my kids are never going to forget it because I'm never going to forget being able to stay there.
No, that is definitely a unique experience, one of a kind to say the least. So tell me, what tips do you have for those looking to book a vacation rental with small kids?
When you go to VRBO, or use the VRBO app, you actually have the option of using a filter to see properties good for families. And the site will actually filter properties that have been recommended by previous guests who say, this home was a good one for kids to stay in. So I think that is a feature that every family should be taking advantage of. Also, when you've put in your date and your location and picked all of the filters to help you narrow a search for your next vacation home, really read the listing closely. It will tell you things like how the beds are laid out. Are we talking about a sleeping loft or an actual separate bedroom? Are there bunk beds? I've also found a lot of helpful information in the reviews. For example, one of the ski houses we were looking at said, the staircase is really steep. It's a spiral staircase, and I really don't think it would be very suitable for small children. That kind of information is so helpful. There are also a lot of homeowners who are including things like cribs and high chairs, and that information is found in the property description and sometimes in the photos, and it can make your time away just so much easier knowing you're not trying to feed a baby while the baby's sitting in your lap or on the floor. So, and if it's not clear from the listing what equipment is provided, you can reach out to the owner, as you said, by messaging them through the app or the website and asking what kind of equipment might be available, or if this property is suitable for small children.
Exactly. I mean, we stayed in a gorgeous home in Italy, and it had a little bit of a staircase, a winding staircase, but she told us beforehand, but she also said, I have a gate. I was there with my young children. So she made sure that it was safe for us, which was really nice. And that was nice to be able to touch base beforehand. In my experience, I've communicated with all of the owners of all of the properties I've rented in Philadelphia, all over Italy, Sarasota, and they have all been 100% responsive right away. And it's just really great peace of mind knowing that you're in great hands. So what about theme parks? Have you considered staying at a home near Disney?
I am absolutely considering it not considering it, it's happening. We have booked a home for over New Year's for the Citrus Bowl, which is happening in Orlando. And it actually is a Disney-themed house with a swimming pool, and I think there are some Disney-themed decals on the wall. So I think that's a great option, especially since when families go to Disney, it's nice to have a place where you can decompress. And really, some of our most popular homes are in the Orlando area.
Yeah, and that is really a family-friendly destination, of course, not only with Disney, but with all of the amusement parks around. And it's perfect to stay in a vacation rental home there for those reasons.
I think so. And you were talking about how helpful owners have been. I think that's especially true in these family-friendly destinations. And the beauty of vacation homes is that once you've stayed in one, you realize how lovely it is, and so you're going to want to do it again. And it's really your choice how much communication you want to have with the owners. It is very possible to stay in a vacation home and never have a conversation with the owner. They can send you all the information through the app on how to access the home. But if you have questions, it's always nice to know that it's right there at your fingertips, the ability to communicate, or if there's a problem or you can't figure something out, like how to turn on the air conditioning or the heater. You want the option of communicating without knowing that there's going to be someone right there on the property necessarily.
Right.
If you want a more private stay. So I think the options are what's so great. There's a perfect match for whatever kind of vacation you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just add this really quickly, and then I want you to tell everyone where they can go to book their next vacation rental home. When I was staying in Sarasota, we somehow locked ourselves out, and I was able to get in touch with the owner right away, who had made an arrangement with somebody who looked over the home because the owner didn't necessarily live nearby. And so it was great. There was always somebody who's there looking over the home. So should you need anything in an emergency, they are there. So where can people go for more information and to book their next vacation home rental?
You're going to want to go to the VRBO app or vrbo.com, put in your destination, when you want to go, how many people are going with you, and what are you looking for in your perfect vacation home? What amenities do you want? Do you want to make sure there's a washer and dryer? There's a box to check for that. Do you want to be waterfront? Check a box for that. And then start narrowing your search by looking at the photos and reading the reviews. And you are so right. It's the best of all worlds. You get the privacy, you get what you're looking for in a vacation home, but there's usually someone right there available to help you if there are any problems. I was in a lake house in Arkansas, and a leaf blower started going off at 7 a.m., and I immediately messaged the homeowner, and it was off in about 5 minutes. So it really is the best of all worlds when you stay in a vacation home.
Absolutely. Melanie Fish, thank you so much for joining us today from VRBO. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Huge fan, and you are a plethora of travel tips for vacation home rentals and otherwise. Thank you so much for listening to Passport Mommy. Don't forget you can follow us on social, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Passport Mommy, and on the website passportmommy.com. More coming up in just a few.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy, and as you know, I love to travel and I love discovering new resorts, especially ones that cater to parents and maybe moms who need a getaway, maybe a little spa treatment, a little R&R, but also have great programs for the children as well. So with me, I have Nicole Vieno. She is the Marketing and Communications Manager for the Hyatt Regency Chesapeake Bay Golf Resort, Spa, and Marina. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for joining me. So I was on your website, and you have so much going on for the holiday season and for New Year's Eve.
We really do. We have everything, from bounce houses to breakfast with Santa, fitness classes, and more.
And so what are some of the things that you do throughout the year, let's say, that just cater to families?
So with our property, we have our Camp Hyatt, which is for our children's camp. And so that can cater to full day and half day programs. The activities can range from, going outside and playing at the playground, going to the pools, walking around the resort, doing some scavenger hunts, just a lot of, great children's activities with our recreation department. Our recreation department also does hourly activities. So whether it's diving contest, at the pool, indoor or outdoor. So our seasonal resort, we do have an indoor pool and then 2 outdoor pools for kids can play in.
Great.
We
also
have.
The age?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. What is the age range for the camp?
So 4 until 12.
Okay, that's great, because I think anywhere the parents can go and drop the kids off while they do something is a godsend.
Absolutely. It really is. And, then parents can go, and if they want, they can, play a round of golf, go to the spa and enjoy a full day relaxation, whether it's massage, salon services, get a manicure, pedicure, and just take it easy while the kids are at camp.
Yeah. And so I love this year that New Year's Eve, it's on a Monday. So if you can get off of work, you can make a weekend out of it. Maybe people can come stay Saturday, Sunday, Monday, go home Tuesday. What are some things you have planned for New Year's Eve?
So our New Year's Eve, like we said, we really cater to families. So we have live music throughout the resort property. We have kids activities. So we have a roving magician, which will be around the resort, an indoor obstacle course, carnival games, again, bounce houses, arcade, photo booth, and we have our indoor pool with dive-in movies. In addition to that, we also have a number of dining options. So if you're wanting to do a family buffet or even adults only, we do have some additional options for those.
Great. And as far as the buffet, what kind of cuisine do you serve?
So we'll be doing a New Year's Eve around the world. So our buffet is going to feature items, from different regions. And just, if you have a picky eater, there's a little bit something for everybody.
That's great. I love going to buffets personally. So does my husband, and especially ones that are good. And I like the theme of around the world because you could try everything. And my little one, I'm sure, will find tons of stuff that she likes as well. Do you have any other options besides the buffet?
So we will have a buffet at Water's Edge Grill, and then we'll also have a la carte options at Blue Point Provision Company, a prefix menu at Eagle's Nest, which will be adults only, and then we have Doc's, which is our pizza and kind of our burgers and fries option if you want to lounge out by the pool.
Great. Oh, that sounds so nice. And a pool sounds so nice. Even though you're in Maryland, the fact that there's the indoor pool, that's a great option any time of year. And I really think the region that you're in is such a beautiful area to visit as well.
It really is. And there's a lot to do for everyone, and if we are blessed with the weather on the Eastern Shore here, so you can go outside and enjoy it and not be too cold, but you get to enjoy the seasons around here.
Yeah. What are some things that you would say that you'd recommend doing within the area? I think there's enough going on at the resort that I'm not going to want to leave when I come visit, but what would people do in the area?
Well, there's lots to do in downtown Cambridge. If you're looking for art, food and beverage options, there's some great breweries and wineries in the local region. And then there's a lot to do outdoors with the Blackwater Wildlife Refuge, or even take in some of our historical sites like the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad Visitor Center.
That sounds great. And so can people get deals this time of year with the holidays?
Absolutely. So we do have our getaway special that visitors can find online. And then we also, our New Year's Eve, it's not a package, so all of our overnight guests will have access to all of the activities.
That sounds great. I can't wait to visit. I don't know when, but I'm coming because it sounds terrific. And I love getting away this time of year. And even if you are from out of the area, flight prices go down in January. So it's so convenient if you live anywhere on the East Coast for driving or taking a quick flight to you. Where can people go to get more information?
So people can visit us at our Facebook page or online at www.chesapeakebay.regency.hyatt.com.
Perfect. Nicole Viano, thank you so much for joining me today. Happy holidays and have a wonderful new year. Next up, we're going to speak with Suzanne Brown from Mompowerment about how to best strike a work-life balance. More coming up in a few. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson.
Don't forget, you can check out Passport Mommy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of the social. Follow us. We run a lot of Instagram contests. Also head to the website, passportmommy.com. You could sign up there to be part of our giveaway list. You will not get spammed, but there's all kinds of great content up there, all kinds of travel content. If you're looking for new product ideas, anything, if you're a new mom, it's a great resource for you there as well.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy, and a big part of being a mom is balancing work and motherhood. And it is definitely not easy. I know a lot of moms struggle with it. We want to do the best that we can with our child. We want to give them everything, but we also need to work, many of us, whether we are a stay-at-home mom and maybe we're doing some side projects that we're trying to get done in the middle of the day, or you go to the office every day. It's not easy. So with me, I have Suzanne Brown. She's a work-life balance speaker, strategist, and author of 2 books that help working moms with different aspects of work-life balance. She has a weekly blog. She has a TED Talk, and you could read more about her award-winning and best-selling books at mompowerment.com. Hi, Suzanne. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Sure. So you are also a mom of 2 young boys, and you have all of this going on. How do you balance it all?
I think more than anything, I am very intentional with my time. So I have 2 unrelated businesses, and I still pick up my boys at 2:30 every day. So I will sometimes describe it as like time Tetris. Like everything is kind of very much into place, and it all has to kind of line up the right way. But the reason why is because I'm incredibly intentional with my time. So I really try to work smarter instead of simply working harder or let me just get it done. It's about using my time very efficiently.
Right. Now, were you able to do this when your boys were, say, 1, 2 years old?
So I would say my boys our younger son has almost always either had, he's been in school almost that whole time. So we have a preschool that we've gone to for years at this point, and they have a baby room. So we put him into the baby room when he was 10 months old. But before that, I had somebody help me part-time because there was just no way that I could get everything done in my business and do research for a book. I mean, it was just impossible. And I will say that I think that becomes very important. But I found a place that really worked for us as a family. It was only a few days a week, but I knew that I had that dedicated time to be able to make things happen.
Right. And I think that is so incredibly important because I will tell you, I have a 21-month-old right now, and I did not enroll her in any program. And I always thought, no, I'm going to stay home with her. And, I live in New York City, so those programs are very expensive to begin with. And I said, it just doesn't make sense right now. However, there's no way I have been able to get done the work that I need to get done. And then I feel very frustrated and I don't want to because I love spending time with her. So now I'm learning, you know what? It's about time. It's time for her to start a program, and mom needs time so that I can continue working efficiently.
And I think that that's actually a really important thing because, we start to feel that guilt from, I should be at home. I should be taking care of my child. I want to stay home. I don't want to work in a full-time kind of role. And the thing is, some of us need to work, and that might be a financial thing. It might be that literally you need to keep the brain working in order to feel satisfied with your life. And that's totally reasonable. And I feel very much that way. I don't think I would be as good a mother if I didn't work because I think I'd kind of be bitter with the world. I want that sense of achievement that is mine. It's not my children. It's not because I'm married. It's literally me, myself, and I. And being able to say, I need this dedicated time, I think is incredibly important. And what's interesting is my boys actually thrive in a school environment in a way that I never would be able to do at home. I mean, there's just no way. It's not my strength.
Right,
and so being able to say, my kids want to be in school, I want to be able to work, I'm going to find a preschool that allows me to do that. And here I live in Austin, and we have a lot of programs that are called Mother's Day Out. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially like a shortened preschool day.
Yeah. And that's really great because I'm moving to Connecticut and I found one place that has that. And I really like those because it is a shortened preschool day. And also you have the flexibility if they have room that maybe you can drop your child off a day here, a day there if they have room in the classroom, which is great because then if you do just want to do a few days a week or maybe you're going away some weeks, you're not tied to this program either. Exactly.
It's amazing. We lucked out the same program. And so it's basically 9 months of school. Ours is set up much more structured. So you enroll, you're there on Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever the days are that you sign up for. But that way I know that there was dedicated time, and we eventually moved. They have more of a preschool. So we moved into their preschool environment when our boys were eligible. So it's been a game changer.
Yeah. And that's really nice to hear for a lot of moms, I think, who are thinking twice about doing something like that. Now, in the interviews that you did for your books, what were the things that you saw over and over again that helped working moms create more of a work-life balance in their lives? Obviously, this is one of them.
It is, and it's being intentional. And I'll say I don't normally give a formula for work-life balance. Mm-hmm. Sorry, but there isn't one. But what I did see kind of over and over again was something that helped me create a formula for being intentional. And that is that you need to think about productivity plus time management plus staying on task. And so that formula, it's being able to understand how can you be more productive, how can you manage your time better, and how can you stay focused. Because if you do all of the most amazing things to help you with time management, but you don't actually stay on task and you go on social media and you spend 2 hours on there, you've literally just wasted 2 hours of your day.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. And especially if you're working from home, it's very easy to do that, or it's very easy to go and maybe make yourself a third lunch of the day or go clean something that you really don't need to clean at that moment.
Well, and there were a few other things. Like some of the top things were asking for help, which I talked to more than 110 professional working moms, and I heard over and over again about asking for help. And that can be in all kinds of different areas of your life. So that was one. Another one was boundaries, because it's really important that you have the boundaries. And boundaries look a few different ways. So it can be that boundary between work and home. And one of the things that people ask me all the time is, okay, that's great, but how do you actually enforce that? And the way that I suggest is to define emergencies, because that way you know when you can cross that line.
Right,
you know?
right.
And that goes for at home and it goes for at work, because if you have a child who doesn't realize, like, no, for real, I'm going to be recording something, or I need to be able to have this meeting that I can't be interrupted, you need that boundary there in your personal time as well.
Yeah.
And then the final thing, the number one tip that I heard over and over was to network, because people don't think about networking as it relates to balance, but it really can help you get more people in your corner, and that can be for building your own business. It can be for finding a mentor who can really help you understand how to take advantage of opportunities. It can be finding a new role in the company where you work. And so networking was the number one thing to finding more balance in your life, which I really hadn't thought about it that way until I had as many conversations as I did.
Yeah. And that is an excellent point, because I think that's something that people can easily forgo and say, well, I just don't have the time to go to these networking events anymore, or to make these phone calls, or even to spend time on LinkedIn, whatever your way of networking is, because that kind of falls by the wayside. So I think that's excellent. Also, I like asking for help, because I know, again, I've tried to do everything. I did not hire somebody to clean this apartment where I live. I've tried to do that, and it's just too much. It's too much. So when we move to our new home, I've already put in the budget, like, okay, I'm going to have somebody to help clean a few times a month, and we're going to do daycare, and I'm doing it all differently.
And you're saying, what you're saying is so spot on, of even if it's just a few times a month, right? Like, you don't have to hire a full-time housekeeper. Like, that's the other extreme, right? What you're looking for is a little bit of relief a few times of a month that really make a difference. And it's one thing that you don't have to deal with, not only for that week, but also probably that weekend.
Right. Exactly. Right? And another part of just feeling recharged and having your own time is getting away. And I'm a big fan of this whenever possible, is taking a little getaway, whether it's for yourself as a mom and you leave the kids with your husband, or just even as a family, just getting into a new environment.
Well, and I know that you've spoken about this many times, about your experiences with travel, and it's great if you can physically get away. There's no question about it. That change of scenery can really help you recharge in a very different way than if you had a staycation. But the idea is you step away from your day-to-day, because it's really hard to be your best when you're constantly on.
Right.
That is a really hard thing to do. And honestly, you're not as productive when you are always on, because think about, like, you even stop catching mistakes when you're constantly working on something. And if you step away from something for a day or two, all of a sudden you start seeing things again that basically your mind's eye just kind of adjusts for it. Well, if you can step away from a project, all of a sudden you start seeing those things again. And people don't think about, like, you actually become more productive in your life if you can literally recharge, step away from what it is that you do on a regular basis.
I agree. And that goes along with taking care of yourself, because I know that that was an issue that I had with my husband at the beginning when our daughter was first born. I said, look, I just need some time. I just need some time, whether it's to go get a haircut or to go to the gym or something. And if I don't have that time for me, I'm not going to be as good of a mom and wife to you. And I think finally he understood that.
Well, and that's the thing. It's really hard to take care of everything and everyone else if you can't fill up your own cup.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And I think especially at the beginning of motherhood, it's very counterintuitive. Until you think about, literally, I have to fill up my own cup, because that's what everybody is taking from.
Right, exactly. And I want to talk to you so much more. And I want to hear about your travels, because I know you do travel a lot with your children. So we'll have to have you on again another time. But where can people go for more information about you, your books, your TED Talk?
You can find me at All Things Mompowerment, but a good place to start is the website, which is mompowerment.com.
Great. And I loved being on that. I was looking on your website, and it's really inspirational, and it's great. Are you on any social networks as well?
I am. So you can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm trying to get better about Instagram, because I try to be in the moment, and I will forget, like, oh, I need to take a picture or a video of this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm the same way.
It's not how I think, but I'm trying to get better. So
exactly. Well, me and you both on that one. Suzanne Brown, thank you so much for joining me today. Really motivational and inspirational. And, we're talking about getting away and going away. And one way to make things so much easier is staying in a vacation rental home. And when you're with your family this holiday season and making plans, it makes sense to talk travel plans for 2019, because after becoming a mom, I realized that there was a much better way to travel with the family. And like I said, it's by renting a vacation home. Now I only use vrbo.com when I go away. I have found gorgeous homes in places like Sarasota and all over Italy. I stayed exclusively in VRBO homes in Rome, in Tuscany, Florence, and Venice. And we had an amazing time. And I traveled there with my then, I think she was 13 or 14 months. So it was really easy. The homes are spacious, clean. The hosts are very helpful. So to book your next vacation home, just head to vrbo.com or download the VRBO app to discover everything from beach houses to cabins and condos. They do the hard work for you, matching you to the perfect place to stay every time. And don't forget, you can head to the website passportmommy.com for all kinds of ideas on destinations, on where you would like to head next. Next up, we're going to talk with Laureen Asseo. She is the CEO of Fresh and Lean. She and her team are making it easier for moms to prepare healthy, organic meals for their families.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Part of navigating motherhood means preparing healthy meals for my daughter, every single meal that I can. And I'm pretty strict with that. And she has grown up to love foods like spinach, avocado, tofu, all kinds of healthy dishes. But you know what? Sometimes our schedules are just crazy and we don't have time to prepare the meals as we would like to. So that's why I have with me today Laureen Asseo. She first began preparing healthy meals for friends and family out of her own home after her father, Frank, was facing serious health concerns resulting from years of unhealthy eating. And as demand rapidly grew, Fresh and Lean expanded into a national meal distributor. Hi, Laureen. Thank you for joining me.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. So tell me a little bit about Fresh and Lean.
So Fresh and Lean in a nutshell is a ready-to-eat, direct-to-consumer meal service. We deliver fresh, delicious, and affordable meals nationwide directly to your doorstep.
And your business grew out of your own family kitchen. Tell me how you got started and where your passion for healthy food comes from.
So it did, and like you said, this story hits really close to home for me, since it all kind of came down to a health issue that my father had, and like you said in the intro, it really came from indulging in processed foods here in the U.S. So coming from Europe, we didn't have to deal so much, and by we, I mean them, as they were growing up, didn't have to deal so much with processed foods just because a lot of the laws are different in what we allow here as far as additives and the processing, and then what's allowed in Europe. So when they came over here, it's kind of a gradual process, but just overindulgence year after year just led to a crazy increase in his weight, which then spiraled into a lot of health issues. So what we basically did was came back to the roots of how they grew up in Europe, which was using whole grains, organic veggies, and just really sticking to that. So that's kind of how it got started. People started noticing and asking some questions, and if it could be done for them, and we did, and that's kind of how the concept took shape. And I really got the passion for food from my parents. Growing up, we always cooked in the house. We always sat down for family dinners, lunches when we weren't in school. And so that's really where my love of food came from, just being able to cook at home with them, understanding the value of nutrition. It's just unfortunately outside of the house and on the go, there wasn't that many great options. So that's when, you turn to the processed foods.
Right, exactly. And so as a mom, I know that there are a few meal delivery services out there. How does Fresh and Lean differ from some of the others?
So in a couple of different ways. So there's other companies out there that are like meal kit companies. And so what they do is they'll send you ingredients, but you still have to put in the work. So at Fresh and Lean, we really understand that people live really busy lives, especially mothers. And, the moms who are stay at home have so much going on. And then, of course, working moms as well have so much going on. So with all of that being said, our meals are 100% ready to eat. They're super convenient, and there's also no mess involved, so cleanup is super easy. And I know for me, always being on the go and working so much, that's a huge perk. So we really focus on the ingredients also. We're gluten-free, we're dairy-free. We source from organic vendors. All of our meat is never ever. So we really, really focus on the ingredients, and that's been a huge driver since day one. We never compromise.
Yeah, I love that. And I was on your website and I saw that you offer a few different meal plans depending on what somebody's interested in. And I assume that they could rotate as well. Maybe one week they can go with the high protein plan, then another time the vegetarian option, because your dishes look really good. And even if someone's not a vegetarian, I would think that they would want to try that meal plan.
Absolutely. And the good thing about us is that we're just a weekly commitment, so you don't have to commit for months at a time. You can also make changes to your plans. So just like you said, if you want to try the vegan vegetarian meals one week and then you want to come on and if you're a pescatarian and you just want to try some salmon with some vegetarian meals, we offer all of that. And we offer some paleo, some low carb. We offer some, options that are prepackaged separately if you need a little bit more veggies in your life or if you need more protein, whatever it is, we basically have all of your bases covered. So absolutely, you can kind of pick and choose what you want. And we have a really great customer service team that's always willing to help make any adjustments that are necessary.
Great. So tell me real quick, what is the website? Where can people go for more info?
So you can go to freshandlean.com. So it's fresh, the letter N, lean.com, and you'll see all of our offerings right there.
Laureen Asseo, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to order my first week's worth because I know I need my time back and I want to continue feeding my child as healthy as I can. Thank you so much for listening to the show today. We'll see you soon.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson